Welcome. Studio 239 and 239 Uncensored. We're shot at a cannon today. It's Monday. And you wait till you see this nonsense we got going on in the studio. Shannon brought her son Joe, which
That's not the nonsense.
A really good friend of mine, and he is carting around his mother today. Look at her.
So I'm trying to get a facelift, but I can only afford it on the layaway plan. So they just do a little bit at a time. So today I had this part done. And
If you miss a payment, they just stop.
Yeah, so you guys know, just so we all know on this live today, just so we know that this wasn't my idea for Shannon to be out here.
You actually tried to get me to not be on.
Yeah, I was like, Shannon, I don't think it's a good idea for you to come out today and do this.
Well, if I'm going to be hideously ugly now, then I'm just going to have to get used to it. And you're going to have to get used to it also.
Well, you're far from hideously ugly.
We don't know what it's going to look like yet.
The big golf ball on your forehead.
I know what it looks like.
The big golf ball on your forehead, kind of tends to be a little bit interesting, I guess.
Well, I haven't had the second part of the procedure. So I had some skin cancer removed. And I had the Mohs procedure where they just scrape it out. And that's what you hear. It's very strange. So they scraped it all out. They got the margins and everything is good. I'm very grateful. I had a great surgeon. But now I have to leave it open like this until I have the plastic surgeon close it at 3:00 today.
And please, I really, we've got a bunch of people watching. I'm looking on here now. Please put in your comments if you think Shannon should be at home sleeping. Thank you, Joe, for coming. Joe is my hero.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
Joe is my hero, dragging his mother around today. She's self-medicating.
That is every day, though.
Yeah,
so today I'm just doing like an extra little half a dose. So tomorrow will be rough. Tomorrow I'll probably have my eye will be swollen shut and it'll be black and I'll look a lot worse. So today I wanted to come out and see you.
Well, isn't that nice? But I told you to just, hey, do you think today might not be a good day to go live? And you want to kind of like push it off, but you are very dedicated and you get paid very well.
Get paid very, very well in hugs and smiles. This is what's called being a professional. You put on half your makeup and you take your ass into the studio.
I guess. Joe, give me your thoughts. Did you get a chance to go? Did you take your mom today?
Yeah, I got to sit in on the procedure. Yeah, it was interesting. It wasn't as gross and disturbing as I was hoping, but I learned. You
got to smell my skin.
Yeah, they have this little cauterizing thing that it's a little mini blowtorch,
like creme brulee.
You see this? It looks like one of those little picks that the dentist uses, where they squirt the water into your teeth gaps and stuff, but it's got this little
singes.
Yeah, it looks like
it's a 30-minute show, Joe. Come on.
It looks like lightning or something. You see this little orange beam just shoot out, and then you hear
laser
the skin
beams
sizzle and
melting my face. So
that was definitely the coolest part.
My friend Joe was watching. Joe, you said that I should be.
Joe said you should be home. My mother said.
Joe, and your mother Sandy probably also
said get well soon. She said.
Thank you. So really, tomorrow I will rest because I think that will be the worst of it. But today I'm out and about, and I'm grateful to be here. Although we had some weird shit happen over the weekend, like just more crap.
Hold it. We can't go there yet.
Oh.
So we know, Shannon, we want to ultimately, the goal is to make sure that you're okay.
I am
so
okay.
we are all, I know all the fans and everybody out there,
cancer free. Okay. We're good.
That's our goal.
Cancer free. And a lot of people maybe just don't want to go and get their all over body check.
I certainly don't.
Right. And so I'm trying to get Joe to go. And
I know my body. Everything.
Joe wants a little tug.
But there's no happy ending. It's a dermatologist.
They do that on the other coast.
Asian,
that's in West Palm Beach. They don't do that over here.
Insurance is not going to cover that, especially your
I'll ask Robert Kraft if I ever need to know.
Joe goes in for a massage, leaves 10 seconds later.
It's not a prostate exam. We're going to look
I can last at least 3 minutes.
Alrighty. So
mom's not liking this. I like that. It making her feel a little bit uncomfortable.
But you should get your all over body. Did
Maybe
you get
when
yours?
You're 50.
Yeah, I do. Actually.
No, you don't have to be 50. I'm 49, but I started getting my first one like 6 years ago. They found cancer. I had my first cancer surgery. And so this has been, an ongoing thing. And people really, it's too late to wear sunscreen once you're in your 40s. I mean, you should still, but it's the burns that you get when you're a kid. And so if you were out at the Lake of the Ozarks like I was, getting burned every summer, then you probably have cancer. Go to your doctor.
Yeah, no, definitely. In all seriousness, make sure you go get checked. I do get the screening done, and we're lucky. And get well soon. She thanked you for bringing up the awareness to all of us, because especially when you live in Florida, people have no idea how strong.
Oh yeah, we're much closer to the equator than people in the Midwest.
So the sun does not play.
People come here on vacation, and you see them walking through the Walmart like at 8 o'clock at night trying to find aloe vera and sunscreen. It's some serious shit here.
My first sunburn down here, my entire back peeled off. It was awful.
But even without the severity, just the exposure to the sun, walking from your house to your car and your car to the grocery store and all of that, that is enough exposure, dermatologists say, that you should be wearing sunscreen.
Well, that's ridiculous.
So I know that's how it sounds.
Come on, Shannon.
Listen,
Jesus, Shannon.
This out of me. I'm going to wear sunscreen.
You come up with more studies, see? Another study. Yeah, there's a study on it. Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the craziness over the weekend.
Yeah.
It rained like a son of a gun here in Naples, Florida.
It rained for like a day and a half, and then after that, it kind of died.
Well, it was coming down, though. It was coming down.
What was that movement with your hand?
I still went out Friday.
When it was coming down, rain was falling. It was falling hard. Yes.
People down here don't know how to drive in the rain.
No, absolutely not. They think it's snow. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now, we know over in Southwest Florida, or in South Florida, on the other coast, I believe, over in Fort Lauderdale, it flooded big time. I know we have a little video of that too, as well.
Look at
Tropical
that dog.
storm. Yeah, that little dog out in the rain. People do some crazy things too. I think we got a little video too. Wow, check that out.
Is that how they measured the rain in Miami? Like one
you put a dog.
deep?
If your dog goes underwater,
is it a Chihuahua? Is it a German Shepherd? How deep is that water?
And what I don't understand too is like what do they say when you see the water? If it's you just turn around. You don't go through it.
If you can't see the ground,
turn around. Thank you.
Somebody had to get that footage,
but
right?
They say that. Well, yeah, this guy's walking, but still, you don't want to walk through that because it's all the sewage and everything too.
Well, I could live through. I mean, I don't want to sit my car in there, but you think like, okay, I'm driving. It's probably not a good idea. Don't go down that road.
There's a lot of needles and razor blades.
That dog is flying inside. Let the dog poop inside.
Poor little
that
girl.
dog doesn't want to be out there.
Yeah, she's having fun. She's in the water, like you said, in the sewer water.
Yeah, hope you don't have any open wounds there, because then you're gonna have some flesh-eating bacteria.
Well, not only that, people can't drive, as Joe mentioned in the rain, they cannot drive while they are having or performing or getting performance, receiving. Was they receiving side of this?
The gentleman was receiving a sexual act, and
as far as we know.
And no, that's what they admitted to it.
Okay.
You think he wasn't admitting to it? He was telling anybody, like the cops didn't even ask, and he was telling them.
Yeah, I think we have a picture of this crash too.
It's
kind of crazy. Yeah, no video for Shannon. Now, this obviously was problematic. Now, texting and driving is one thing. Receiving sexual gratification while you're driving, that's a big no-no. I mean, that's
it
was involved in a head-on collision.
Yeah. So. But you know exactly what was going on. Why is that a big deal to guys to try to get some girl to perform fellatio while they're driving?
Well, I think the girls don't mind doing it.
Really?
Yeah.
We might.
Yeah.
We might doing it all the time.
That's what you say.
Why would you be in the car though? And
there's a reason it's so popular.
But I don't think that's fair, because as a woman, I gotta swing my leg up over the headrest next to me or something to be on the receiving end of oral sex. Like I can't just. I mean, you can't just graze the outside. Like I gotta pull over and recline the seat.
Joe, I don't know.
Why am I here?
Joe, I don't know, Joe.
These are all things that people do on the other side of the state. Let's just keep that in mind.
What? I mean, I've driven around naked a lot, but I've not driven around
Pretty sure that's illegal.
Getting a little, maybe, but
if actually you can probably do it, but if you
get out of your car,
you display yourself in a inappropriate manner, yes, that would be problematic.
Your windows aren't tinted,
maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
liked it.
whatever was happening, it must have been pretty distracting because it looks like he veered all the way over.
Yeah.
It was
to the
a
other side of the road.
head-on collision with FedEx.
Poor FedEx guy's trying to do his job.
Yeah,
that
so
day.
you're
It's
not
just
getting
crazy.
your packages because this guy was
Getting his
a blowjob.
package. He's
Yeah.
getting his package. Yeah. No. So, and
No, but now is she going to be in trouble because she?
you know, I don't know who's going to be in trouble.
She
created
probably
a
has
diversion?
at least mild concussion. So
Well, was she finished?
if I was there,
I
It
don't
could be
know.
a month.
I'm sure both
Off.
of them are in the hospital, but if not, they got lucky.
Well,
Yeah.
probably her, especially because she'd be like right down there with the steering wheel.
Probably him, because what do people do when they're shocked and surprised and have?
They clamped down. Wasn't that in
Yeah, that's what
the
I'm
world
saying.
according to Garp?
I don't know, but I wouldn't want to be in that situation. I
The-
said, let's just save it for the
You wouldn't want
hotel.
to be in which part of that situation?
The hotel room. Save it for the hotel room
Why does it have to be a hotel?
or wherever.
Like, can't you do this shit at home?
Well, it depends on if he knew, how well they knew each other, and
Yeah.
did they meet on South Beach, or is this a?
Clearly, they're not married because I don't think
committed
there are a lot of married
relationship.
couples driving around performing oral sex on each other.
Well, you're
Be
just
surprised.
maybe in your life. Maybe in your life.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I
Well,
did
I'm
not
just
do that.
saying.
Is that why I'm not married anymore?
Well,
because I
probably
wasn't
it
driving
probably
around?
makes a difference. But Joe is here, so I'm not going there. Joe puts up with you.
You can go wherever you want. I don't care. And it put up is a strong statement.
You think it's strong? I'm
Do
sorry.
you, what do? You tolerate me? That's
No, you guys are
likes
good.
me.
Yeah, he does. You guys are good. Good
Okay.
match.
I'm a good roommate, don't you think?
I
I stay out of your business.
don't have any business.
Well, that makes it easy for me.
That's good. Now listen,
Because my mother is my room.
it's true. It's true. Now I don't know what's going on. We had these several mass shootings over the weekend. It was just crazy, right? So, what is the answer to this, guys? Joe, what's your thoughts on it? I mean,
Well-
at least 12 people dead.
All right.
Another
so-
weekend mass shooting.
Because you're a different generation, so you kind of have grown up with the school shootings and mass shootings
Yeah,
being the
Columbine
norm.
happened when I was like 4 or 5, and then it sort of just went from there.
So, do we take away everybody's gun?
2020.
I don't think the answer is taking away everybody's guns. I don't think the answer is giving everybody a gun. Like, the gun is not the problem, and the gun is not the solution. The problem is people, and therein lies the way to fix it. So that's a complicated. That's not something that you can just flip a switch and suddenly everything's okay. People have been talking about so many different options of, do we just turn everywhere into airport security and have armed guards and metal detectors and cameras everywhere? No, I don't think that's the answer either. Because
Most people think yes.
we're
on
living in a
schools
police
anyway.
state, and well, okay, but
I'm not agreeing.
People
I'm just
who-
saying that is the most suggested change that I have
people
heard
who want to do harm
with gun
in
legislation.
places like this are going to find a way to do it.
Yeah, they're committed. I think you're
Yeah,
right. Now, a couple things that I agree, and I'm a huge Second Amendment guy, right?
Sure.
I'm law enforcement, all that stuff. But I believe right now, we need to look at this and say, hey, listen, 21 for an AR-15 rifle. I mean,
Yeah,
it's 21,
no,
right?
yeah,
I think
I
that's
believe that.
sensible. Is that going to fix it? I don't think it's going to fix it. I mean, because I know what I was
think
like.
that's just a
between the-
logical
I was-
policy to begin
Of
with.
course, I was in the military from 19 to 21.
Well, so there you go.
but if you're 18 to 21, a lot of things change in your brain between that time.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying that kids still can't get a gun from their house or something like that from the family member, things like that. That does happen. But I think we need to look at some things to maybe restrict that during that age bracket. Maybe.
Absolutely. I mean,
And there's crazy people at all ages.
the
don't we?
fact that the government considers you a legal adult at 18 years old terrifies me.
Well,
based
only
on
only when we need them to go fight.
right,
for
well,
us.
yeah, right. So it's do I think that someone should be able to purchase an assault rifle at 18? No.
I don't either.
That just doesn't. That's not a good idea.
You can't buy freaking beer or
Right.
cigarettes.
Whether they're mentally unbalanced or not, someone who can barely function in society, which most 18-year-old, like where I work, we don't hire 18-year-olds.
Mhm.
But
And thank God.
also, aside from age, the most important determining factors of whether or not somebody should be able to have any type of firearm are things that we don't have documentation of, right? We don't have documentation in most cases of intrusive thoughts that people
Yeah, how
have,
you gonna?
or, psychotic breaks or whatever. And even if we do, if we, are aware that they're having them, if they haven't made a credible threat or done so in writing or whatever the law requires, then we don't arrest people for their thoughts either. And
Right.
and we can't follow them around.
Ideology.
Right. We can't follow them around every second of every day to make sure that they're not going to
Well,
do
no,
anything.
but what you can do, and we've discussed this before, is you just make an effort to be more involved in people's lives and development. The reason why I can't speak for some of these individuals, but based on what we've seen by and large, the reason why these kids feel the need to do something like this is they feel isolated. They feel like they're, not being heard, and this is the way that they want to express themselves and gain attention. So
Yeah, and I think it's a situation where these kids are kind of living out fantasy world, right? So
yeah,
and their idea is to go in and unfortunately it's body count, right? They played
Yeah.
these games. They know how you win is by body count, right? That's how you win. And I think what happens is reality turns to fantasy. And I'm not saying like all games are bad, because that's not true, because so many kids play these games. I think when they get to a certain age, they should be, able to play games.
Right.
However, there's a certain group of people that you're going to have that are going to take this into a different level, have a different ideology. And the unfortunate thing, like Shannon was saying, is we can't go in and find out exactly when this is going to happen, because I know for a fact we have identified people in our county where we live that kids are at risk for something like this. And we've identified them, but unfortunately there's nothing in place that allows us to do anything at that point. So tomorrow they could go do it, and people are going to go back and say, how come we didn't do anything? Well, there's nothing there.
Right.
Well, that is what needs to change. And, and I don't think that's always on, that's not always the responsibility of the county, of the cops, of the teacher. A lot of it starts.
Yeah, it's a big picture of that.
A lot of it starts with the family and the friend, people around them, like the parents of that kid in Michigan who are being prosecuted for either
Access to
contributing
women.
Yeah, they were crazy.
yeah, you do
They were
bear
the
some of the
problem.
responsibility here.
They were the problem. So aside from a psychotic break that's going to happen usually in the 20s, we're going to know from a child at a certain age if we have a problematic person, because when we have people that do this as an adult, there were signs in their childhood that this was coming. So I think and it sounds so touchy-feely, I know, and stupid, and there are other things we need to do to not have soft targets and legislation that allows 18-year-olds to have things that they shouldn't, and all of that, because it's a complex approach. But I think the biggest thing we can do is to make sure that each child has more than one person in their life that gives a shit about them and that is monitoring them and kind of keeping tabs on them, just to make sure that they don't get off kilter. And if they do, they can get resources. And if they're not getting resources, they can get reported.
It's like Rat Park.
You're intervening as early as possible in the most positive way to just try to support them into growing.
But that's not realistic in most families. I should say in most families it is realistic, right? But I think there's a lot of families out there that, hell, they don't even know who their dad is or their mother.
Right.
Maybe even their mother is.
It can't fall on the parents, because we have a lot of shit parents, or we have parents that are not bright or are naive, or whatever it is. They're working 4 jobs and they're just not at home to see things that they should, and they're not going to parent-teacher conferences.
Well, like in Texas, they give basically the parents gave the kid up to the grandparents, grandmother, and said, "Hey, you take care of this kid." And we all know that's just a way of just we have it a lot down in Florida. Like, people go down and live with your grandmother.
Yeah.
And then like that's gonna make a difference, right? It's not, So I just think it's a comprehensive thing that we have to come and put our arms around it the best we can.
Everybody has to work together to figure out.
And this kid was showing signs of doing this.
But that's what I'm saying. When we keep saying that mental illness is most of the problem, how early can we intervene to be able to ferret out some of that?
But where do we put these kids? Okay, so some kid says, I'm going to shoot up the school. Well, where are we going to put them? What are we going to do with them?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have good.
It's
I don't have good solutions
Yeah,
to
no,
that,
it's
and so
tough
maybe
one.
that's a new branch of behavioral therapy. That this is like your last chance because you're showing yourself to be a little criminal psychopath. I don't
no,
know.
It's crazy. But anyway, we got to get a grip on these shootings, and I think people are watching them. They know that. Hey, listen, I'm going to go out. I'm with a blaze of glory, right, in my own mind. And I'm not just going to go and take my pills or take a gun and put it to my head. I'm going to take a few people that I don't like with me. And that's happened, So that's
or people they don't even know.
Yeah,
or
or
that's when it gets really weird.
Yeah, that's a lot of that, right? A lot of that. That's what's terrible about it.
Yeah, you would think that some of these people would target people that they knew rather than just going into a school or a grocery store or whatever. If you hate people that much that it's turned you into, that violent of a person, you would think you would want to take it straight to that person. I have a list. Don't you have a list? I mean, not that I would want to go and shoot them, but
we're going to leave it at that.
But everybody has a list of people that are off their Christmas card list. Let's put it that way.
Okay, let's leave it at that. They're off the Christmas card
They're
list,
off the
but
Christmas card list.
And Shannon, okay, let's leave it. Yeah, let's leave it at that. So just so you know, if you just logged on, Shannon did not get attacked this weekend by anything.
By a bear.
You can make up a story.
Got attacked by a dermatologist.
I told her it would be probably of best interest not to do the live today.
And the dermatologist assistant.
She shows up.
Well, my doctor said that I was fine.
Okay. All right.
And that I can do whatever I want.
Well, that's good.
Like today
doctor's
and always.
advice. But tomorrow's going to be a little painful, more painful.
So
they got a lot of
today.
medication on there.
Well,
inside there.
Yeah.
You're not feeling a lot of pain.
Well, no, it's starting to.
Is it starting to throb?
Yeah, a little bit.
Can you feel like your brain popping out?
I feel like they cut out a big chunk of my skin. And they dug it out.
Whatever they used to numb it, it worked very quickly because it was like he put the syringe in, and then 2 seconds later they were like, "Okay, here's."
But also, I had like a big goose egg of the numbing stuff, and so they were like, "We'll just smash that down." We just smashed it down and went to work.
Wow, it's amazing. It's amazing.
I tried to get video.
Yeah,
Joe wouldn't take it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you want him to take
I didn't want to get in the way.
No, I don't want no video. I don't want no video of that. Leave that.
They were trying to be precise. I went, move over so I can.
You were actually there when they were doing it?
Look at your
Joe?
ring light.
I mean, I wasn't
He's
standing
be there
over
for
the
next
thing,
one.
but
I can't do it, Joe.
I have the second half of my
I've had my head cut open 8 times.
We want the best for your mom, but
Yeah.
she's on her own when it comes to that.
Yeah, they've peeled his face off. It's not going to gross him out at all.
Well, he was probably not aware of that at the time.
He was not.
No, thank goodness. So listen, crazy doesn't far. We know Florida's crazy, right? So this lady up in Orlando, she, this stuff usually is handled pretty quietly around Universal Studios and Disney and those type of places. You usually don't hear a lot about it. Now this lady, she had a little bit of a tizzy with the security, right? She got in a little fight going on, and she ended up.
Well, she was harassing the guest. She was harassing
She was
the guest.
drinking under the influence, smoking weed, and stuff
not
like that.
smoking any weed at all, or she would have been.
She might have been smoking something, but we don't know what that is.
Maybe a little crack. But no, so she was harassing guests, and then when management asked for
Christy
her,
Schwartz.
She sounds like a problem.
Yeah.
And when they asked her for her room key, she said she didn't have one, and she tried to run away. And so then she stomped on the foot of one of the security people, and slapped some other security guy, and his glasses fell off. And so she was just basically a big menace. And she also decided to pull the fire alarm. But, I'm concerned that she's just hanging out at the pool at Universal when she's not a guest there.
Well, she looks like she could be a fairly nice lady, right? Do you think?
She doesn't look
Clearly,
too bad,
she's
really.
not.
But no, she doesn't look too bad. I hope.
Her eyes are not bloodshot. I mean, I don't know when this photo was taken, but probably a mugshot of some sort.
I just hope all those people were wearing sunscreen.
But when you pull the fire alarm, there's a problem, right? You pull that. There's a charge. And then you go attack 2 security guards. There's a couple more charges.
There's a special charge for attacking a security guard in uniform, which I didn't know. People think, oh, he's not a cop, and so it's not that big of a deal. But we actually have a special charge.
And there should be.
Yeah, for assaulting a security officer in uniform.
But if they're not in uniform,
then you
Are they a
don't know that
security
it's
officer?
security. But if they're in uniform, then it's the same thing as knowing that that is
Well, I
law
mean, what
enforcement.
constitutes as a uniform? If you're working at a concert, and you have
You
a
can
black
take that
T-shirt
up with
that
your
says
lawyer,
security.
Joe. This I don't give a shit. You're digressing
just-
onto stuff that doesn't matter.
No, well, I'm
I don't know why
wondering.
I'm here,
is it
but-
security or is it
It
have to
says
have
security.
the badge or what is it? What's
Right.
the law on that?
Like
I
if
don't know.
it's just a T-shirt that says security.
That's what I literally
at a
what I
bar?
just said.
I got a couple of my folks that just recently retired, and they're now security. They're watching the they're having a great time in their life, and they're watching the beach, and making sure that no one goes on, and
My sister.
they wear security. So
My sister is a security guard. She went to 12 years of
Yeah,
college.
no, it's a
I
tough
don't think
job.
she got any degree. She didn't get a degree, right? She just went to 12 years of college. She
I'll
went
have
to a
to
lot. She went
ask
to literally
next time I
12
see
years
her.
of college, and now she's a security guard.
well, some people like that. Just you got to watch things. Everybody's got a job.
She's good
It's
at
a-
it.
yeah, it's a
but
good-
They don't even give her a Segway. I mean, I would do it if I had a Segway.
Well,
Those are fun. You ever
Just-
ride one of those?
just they're real fun. Just when you ride that today, you be home. I wouldn't want you out riding the
I would be
Segway
out-
doing
I-
security with the
I would
golf
be
ball
out
on your forehead.
confiscating drugs on behalf of the community.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
I would get them off the streets.
Sir, may I have these?
That's right. I'm just going to take these. I'm not going to write them up. Just going to take these off your hands.
No questions asked.
That's right. Oh, you have a prescription for that? Still going to take them.
Shannon's on it. Shannon's on it.
Keep the streets.
You're always fun. I got to get a good picture of this. So,
Have my
That's my
bandage.
paper.
yeah. No, that's good. So what else
Yeah,
we got
paper
going for
cut.
this rain? I mean, is it going to continue?
It's not raining right now.
Well,
It cleared up nicely on Saturday.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I expected it to get worse.
It rained all day Friday and Friday night, and that was about it.
It's a little early to be starting.
Well, but at least it's better than the fires, right?
Yeah, no, the fires are bad. Yeah,
Where are the
destroying
fires?
houses.
California?
No, the fires
We
that we have
usually get
here.
them.
Oh,
Usually
well,
get 'em
yeah,
this
that's
time of
true.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually we're all on fire and we're having to, gather water for the firefighters and the poor animals and everything
Those-
else. So I'll take a little rain.
Those usually run from April, May. They end in June. The fires, depending on the weather, right? So
Yeah.
we had some pretty nice rain up until this point, comparable to like the years before. But this actually filled my lake behind my house.
And then what about that guy? Also, I didn't send the story to you because I Googled the wrong thing and I went down a rabbit hole. But anyway, what about the guy that stole all the turtles? $30,000
Yeah, I saw that.
worth
I
of
saw that.
I
turtles?
saw that this
Saw that.
morning.
And so then I'm like, who's buying all these turtles? And so I looked it up, and apparently it's a big business.
Is it for food? They eat them? Because I know that turtle eggs,
like
I
Turtle
heard,
turtle
are really
soup?
good. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I
That's
thought it was
a-
for pets.
Diana,
Now
what do
I'm
they
all
use
freaked
those?
out.
What do they use those turtles for? Do you
Where's
know?
Where's the Diana cam? Why don't we have a Diana cam?
What do they use those turtles for? Do they use them? Do they sell them?
Are they
or
eating those
they eating them, or
turtles?
what are they doing?
Are they naming them?
They sell them, I guess,
had-
as pets.
Just yeah, I would assume so.
Well, they had one on the news, and it had two heads. So
That's
Yes.
fairly common in turtles, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah.
why
Reptiles,
is that
happens all the time. I don't know.
that they have two
why?
heads?
But yeah, there's two-headed turtles, two-headed
Do they
snakes.
eat
and
twice as much?
It's a thing. No, they only have one metabolism, but it's a genetic. It just happens.
Yeah, interesting.
I wonder, like, which head controls, like how they walk or whatever.
Which head? I mean, I'm hungry. I'm hungry too. That's what I was wondering.
Which one eats? And then they
They
only
both
have
eat, but it has one digestive.
So they're-
they only
so
have
they
one
fill up.
pooper?
They fill up. You know,
Yeah, ask somebody who breeds two-headed turtles.
we need to bring that on. Two-headed turtle.
That's gonna be my new fake job.
Two-headed turtle.
Like when I travel and
Slayer.
people go, "What do you do?" And I go, "I'm a two-headed turtle breeder." I have before said that I was a hamster breeder or
Yeah.
a guinea pig breeder.
Hamsters bite. don't
I feel
they?
like I'm on a hamster wheel quite often.
Or is that gerbils?
Well, I was at the
Did
grocery
gerbils
store.
bite?
Gerbils bite.
I don't know.
No, is it a hamster?
What's the ones that go
Hamsters-
through this?
Hamsters
bite?
bite. They
Hamsters
all
bite.
bite if they're high strung.
Do they go through the tubes or they both go through the tube? What's the
both
difference
go.
between a
All of that
hamster and a
stuff
gerbil?
Gerbil hamsters are slightly bigger.
And fluffier and cuter.
Yeah.
We went through a lot
Gerbils
of
have
them.
tails, hamsters don't. I know that.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I've had both of them when I was a kid. I don't know why. We had those things with tubes and shit
Yeah.
and be like running stink and God, it's a pain in the ass.
I had
They were
rats
so
for a
bad.
little while.
And then
Rats?
sometimes we would leave it. Well, he inherited these rats from this cute girl that he thought was going to come
She
by
lived
to
across the
visit
street.
her
and
rats. She
yeah.
never came by.
And they were like
The
legitimate
rats
His brain
died.
smelled
Well,
like
they weren't
rat
like
shit.
sewer rats. They
Oh,
were,
they
you
They
smelled
know,
weren't
so
like
bad.
New York
they were
City
bred,
rats.
no, they were bred as pets, but they only
Jesus.
lived for a couple years, and so yeah,
Yeah.
Stinky.
We've
I
had
buried them
everything.
in the backyard.
He had a
I wouldn't want
tortoise.
them things to get away. Bad.
Hell, you don't have any pets right now, do you?
No, I'm petless, which is nice because we go out, we go
But-
on the road.
Two-headed turtle.
Two-headed turtle.
You can take with you.
It's a dream of mine. If I could just find if you could find me a two-headed turtle, please let me know.
We could have one as a mascot for the studio.
Yeah,
We could
two-headed-
set up a little tank
two-headed-
in here. People could come in and visit him.
What would we name it? It would stink
Shelly.
too, those things. Call them double.
Shelly the two-headed turtle.
Shelly. How would Shelly come from?
Because it has a shell. It's a turtle.
I guess so.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
A 4-year-old names its turtle Shelly.
Well, Jesus, I never had a turtle.
Well, we're going to solve that for you.
Call it Ninja Turtle.
I had a turtle and a tortoise.
And a
I
tortoise.
don't remember a turtle. Oh,
No.
yeah, you did have a turtle.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
the difference.
dog
The
ate it.
Turtle got
tortoise,
eaten
tortoise
by
is
a-
for
by
land.
a
Yes.
Doberman.
Turtles are for water. And it's funny how people will like take them and throw a tortoise into the water. Be like, hey, they don't swim.
Yeah,
No,
no,
they drown.
you can't do
Bad
that.
idea.
I saw some lady on Collier Boulevard the other day. Collier Boulevard. There's cars going by, and this lady's out trying to get it. The turtle was squished already. She's trying to save it. I'm like, you do not understand, lady. You are
Yeah.
gonna die over. Nobody should get out of the car in the middle of the road and try to save a turtle
I have done it before.
unless there's no
Now,
other cars around.
right,
Not
I
on
have
Collier
not done it-
Boulevard.
I have not done it on a main road like that. I did it in our neighborhood when we used to
Jeez.
live in Autumn Woods. I would
Okay,
save
but what
turtles all
about
the
a
time.
dog? You would do it for a dog.
Well, I mean, if a dog's like running in a road, maybe, but
Like,
by the
can I
time I
just-
turn around, he's gonna be out of the road.
What if I have
hopefully.
like a flare in my car and I I activate the flare and I'm like holding it up. Everybody can see
burn
Like
me.
your fucking head
Jurassic
off?
I'm out there saving the dog.
Burn your head off. Well, no, I mean, I've done that before. I followed the dog in my patrol car and turn on the lights, and the dog's running all over the street
What if the
going
dog
crazy.
doesn't like cops?
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, I do. I've seen them come out. People would teach their dogs to go after us in law enforcement.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my goodness.
yeah, it's just a.
You can't
little
get
ways
your
away.
mail either.
No, I know.
It all looks the same.
Real
to a
estate. I
dog.
was out doing real estate one time. I walk up this house. I had these freaking dogs coming at me. I was like, I am gonna die. But I had my gun, but I did not want to pull it. And
Yeah, you got to go to the dog park for that.
yeah, no
If
shit.
you want to shoot a dog.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. We got a busy week, a lot going on, and our big thing is get Shannon better. That's it.
Well, I'm going to go have my second half of my procedure. So we got to wrap it up here so I can go to my next doctor.
Are you going today?
Yes.
Oh,
they
jeez.
have to close this bitch.
Oh, well, good luck with that, Shannon. In all
Thank you.
seriousness, get it fixed, and thanks for coming by, Joe Labosco.
Yes, sir.
He's the famous guy here. We got to get Joe in more. I love picking on Shannon. Shannon's just a blast. And to everybody who listened in, make sure you view, listen, share, like, whatever the hell you do. And we're having a good time with this. So 239, that's everything. Southwest Florida and beyond. And we are out. Woo!
I was able to reach
We're
it today.
rocking.